Hello everyone, I'm ExtraCheesy87 and this is Let's Play Disco Elysium Part 33. In the previous video we kept somehow finding new stuff to do and distract us, even though it seems like we didn't really accomplish much. We're talking to Lady, she's going to give us a history lesson, and then we're going to go confront Ruby. Maybe.
You're back. Good. What can I help you with? Not an umbrella, I hope. I don't need one myself, you see.
What about your hair?
All around you, rain keeps falling down. On the wooden boards she's standing on, and on the water around you.
Neither do I. Pat your similarly wet coat.
Very rugged. Good choice. Now, I suspect you had questions. Nothing like talking to pass a rainy day. Am I right?
You won't give me the history lesson anymore?
Well, technically speaking, I'm not good.
Okay, doesn't look like it, but... well, dang. I found my badge, by the way.
Love, you did.
Fast, observantly, like an electronic printer.
Pleased to meet you, Lieutenant W. Freighter Dubois. I am glad to see a man of high qualification. The situation is precarious. What can I help you with, Lieutenant Freighter?
Well, I was hoping I'd get my history lesson about the island, but apparently by backing out, we canceled that line of inquiry.
Of course. I am sorry to have been the bearer of bad... Of course. Of course.
Don't tell her you've met Everard right away. There's time.
Alright, see ya. Yeah, Everett's gonna, like, overthrow you or something. I don't know if it'll work, but, you know, more power to him or whatever. Or, sorry that happened to you. I wouldn't be listening. Hello.
I see you haven't left our little Martinez yet. Still running around. Like some kind of cross-country law official.
Still have a case to solve.
Hi. I guess you do. What's on your mind, officer?
Nothing. See ya. Kim. I need a little XP. Kim. Where do I get some XP? Map wall. I have no clue where that is. Oh, that's in the bookstore. Again, there's you, but we're not passing a legendary shivers check. Well, maybe. If we have gotten extra bonus points since then. I would really like to get another shot at opening the ice cream machine. I mean, it doesn't, because like I said, I just don't know exactly what's going to expire. Alright, let's go talk to Dalmody Dice Maker. It'll be really quick, Kim, and then we will confront Ruby with my sword and my gun. She'll never expect it.
This orange machine is... you slip your fingers under...
Didn't Sona give you a perfect tool for this?
Equip
Okay,
the
so you can't do it if you don't have the thing. Alright, so it's not that it gives you a bonus, it's actually required.
This orange machine is dead still.
And I can't like combine it with the pry bar, right? We tried that.
This orange machine is dead still.
We do impress ourselves, and that's pretty cool.
A few bricks have fallen off.
Seems like an old... It means there are...
He likes this.
Okay, nothing new there with Kim. How do we find Lady? Like backtrack this way and like behind the iron curtain.
Oh, it's you again. Are you looking for a die?
Oh, okay, so we're not getting any special bonuses. I like a die.
Of course. Tell me what you have in mind.
Have any cursed dice?
What do you mean by cursed?
You know. Abra, perished like this world.
Alright, how about I surprise you? Come back in 8 hours with 7 real, and I'll give you your cursed die.
The deal.
Great. See you in 8 hours then.
Give me some XP.
Was there anything else? I'm listening. Good. I hope it clarified things.
No, let's try the shivers check. Why not? Any second now I'll find my clothes and then you'll all be sorry. We already have our plus shivers. Can we go to +3? Don't think so, but I think we already equipped our shivers stuff, all of it. You have to check. You gotta check. Half-life. Alright. Now let's just try it.
Oh,
Why not?
it's you again.
You feel nothing. If anything, it's uncomfortably warm in here.
Alright. I mean, it's nothing new. We take off our clothes all the time. Start taking off your clothes. You need to connect.
Excuse me, what are you doing?
The dice maker stares at you while you start to fuss with your pants.
Officer,
This is part of a special technique.
And what technique is that?
Okay, hear me out. Sometimes I get these feelings.
miss, I apologize for my colleague's behavior. He's still recovering.
And we can do it in
from
another room if it
an
makes you
medical
uncomfortable.
episode.
Officer, this isn't how mature adults deal with their feelings.
Now you feel something. The cold damp of shame washing over you.
No, not like that. It's like I can feel the wind or, you know, the air pressure, and the air tells me things, like how I can teleport.
The air pressure told you to take your pants off in my studio?
I mean, yeah, if you say it with that inclination in your voice, it sounds crazy, but if you say anything with like a puzzled intonation, it'll sound stupid. You mean to tell me that, like, the planet is round? What? Like, yeah, if you say it like that, it sounds stupid, but no, it's the truth.
This is not going very well, is it? Word-wise.
No, I'm explaining this very well.
Can you please employ this special technique somewhere else? I work here and my work requires concentration. Half-naked people don't help with that.
I'm fine if you can't control yourself. Words creak. I don't know why it's still there. I'm not holding the button to make that. There it goes. It went away. Alright, Kimmy boy. Kimmy boy, bo bam. Kim, what if I just lifted this shit? Super easy, like.
The barbell waits patiently on the floor, like a dog for its master.
Yeah, we'll probably just kill ourselves if we do that, so probably not worth. Oh yeah, that guy. Or I thought. Do we have any active thoughts? I don't think so, right? No, we have a well, we don't have a free slider anyway. Well, we could try and do this map check here. I need some XP.
Several maps have been attached. The maps look old, and this large map displays archipelagos. You see a constellation of small dots on the light blue emptiness of the Insulindic Ocean. The largest in the northeast is La Caillou. You are here. Another far away in the southwest, Seminese Islands, Ile de Fantôme. Ozon, Laurentide, Fas à la Mer, Archipelagos, North Arcade Island.
Oh, those places sound
All
cool.
just specks of dust.
Think
on
they
the
got Street
vastness
Fighter
of
there?
The Insulindic. On the edges of the map, the color fades into a blur of dotted lines, black and white. In the northeast, a dust mite stands on the north coast of Caillou in a bookstore. It's you. Radiating outwards from you, the suzerain Revachol. With a radius of 80 kilometers, still, the crown jewel of this Isola would be barely visible.
Squint.
You can, on Caillou, Revachol, a single black star, on Ozon, Fondelier, and Vilmandu, on archipelagos, Croyan Moran, Villiers, on Seminine, Olduvai, and on Laurentide, Deora of the Seven Seas, lost little pearls of light, tiny fires in the dark. The ocean breaks apart into a tangle of cosines and azimuths, all pointing into pale nothingness. Windy is the north azimuth. Grad is the northeast azimuth. Samara is the east azimuth. Seo is the west azimuth. Isolas, they're called. Connections to other worlds. Words past the Incelindian, unknown to you. You only know you've never been there. You have little idea what they are. Distant stars, gods, but looking at them makes you feel almost non-existent. Whatever they are, the Isolas are immeasurably large compared to you, and very, very far away.
I don't know, we can run pretty fast. We could probably get over there, like, pretty quick.
Perhaps they are gods. Gods of distance and outer dust. The north coast to the east.
I thought there was like a skill check in here
It's so
somewhere.
No. This is somewhere to be.
I'm sorry, officer. They're quite valuable, though they might not look it. The map of Martinez is 90 cents, though. Yes,
Okay.
yes.
I thought it said in our journal there was like a map wall. I don't know where this is then. Because I mean, this is the bookstore.
This bookstore is not strictly about crime, romance, amidst these three things. The point of the book, at various parent
Okay, we already bought that. I guess we'll just look at all the shelves, see if there's any skill
Shelves
checks in
full of-
here. I remember there were some
shelves
skill checks for like
browsing
looking
suddenly.
through stuff, and I don't know if
High-speed
we did
love.
all of them.
Next to,
I really.
she understands.
I'm sorry. I didn't.
Shelves filled to the brim with crime novels featuring
we already tried that one.
stalwart Vespertine.
Let's see.
The display rack is brimming with worn paperbacks featuring an extremely muscular sword.
Yeah, it was like we did try all
A
these.
small mountain of colorful board game boxes. There are numerous types.
I'm not buying your board games. Maybe I should. I don't know. Alright, Kim.
All around you, rain falls on the great city of Revachol. Rain drips from the eaves and floods the gutters, washing the filth away. The spring thaw must be here. The snow is melting.
What am I doing?
Looking up at the sky, cold water dripping from your hat.
What do I see?
Grey sky like great battleships, clouds colliding with one another. Rain falls down on the world.
How does it feel?
Humid. Your coat shields you from the rain while the city shivers around you.
It's in the west.
Sheets of rain over the water. A flight of stairs leading into the ocean. Wave after wave washing the coast of Martinez. With its motorboats and gently swaying reeds. The ruins of a half-sunken sea fort crumble on an inlet beyond the Bay of Revachol. Ghosts rise into the sky.
Who are you, ghost?
The skyscrapers of La Delta, the financial district. Faint golden light seeps from the office windows. Will you ever go there?
Maybe.
No, you are just one of the hundreds of thousands who watch them rise across the bay from Martinez every day.
What's down the shore?
Urban coastline, rain dripping off Etonite-covered roofs. Cinder blocks left over from half-finished construction. a defunct research and development building, once seized by revolutionaries. An old
Never heard of
wooden
it.
church stands on stilts above the water.
Beyond that,
Coal City, end of all lines.
run your fingers through your dampened hair.
Your hair is an oily mess flecked with ash from neighboring coal plants. Smokestacks rise somewhere in the distance.
Kim, what if we were always zoomed out? What's in the
The
east?
great gates of the industrial harbor are locked. A chill runs down your back. You shudder like an animal trying to shake water from its hide.
Shake your shoulders.
You shudder, looking down at your feet. Dirty rainwater runs veins into the plaza's snow. You realize you have no shoes on. Your feet are red with cold.
What do you mean I have no shoes on?
From the corner of his eye, the lieutenant gives your feet a worried glance. Rain drips from his glasses.
It's cool. I'm in control.
The lieutenant nods, then looks east.
It's in there.
Behind the gates, heaps of supply crates, red and blue metal shipping containers, slick with rain. The Greater Revachol Industrial Harbor is an artificial mountain range. Immense wealth resides within, and immeasurable poverty in its shadow.
Beyond that,
La Drusienne, King Dries passenger harbor. Cruise ships flanked by dock arms. Cranes watching over the mouth of the river distributary.
and across the distributary,
Couron, the lower middle class. Distributary after distributary cuts the city blocks in half. 7-story buildings trail off into the rain.
beyond the Quran,
A silvery curtain of rain over the houses. The class divide. You have never been there. They don't need the law east of the river.
was in the north.
Capeside apartments. Tower blocks crowd one another.
It's probably something that would have been better
4.46
at the start of the game
minutes
before we've
still
gone to most
lodged in their
places, but it's kind of neat.
wall-torn stone walls. Hallways collapse from the mortar hits of a war that was lost long ago. Clotheslines go to waste in the rain. Radios play. The morning news.
And closer,
A yard. Rain falls onto the roof of a woodshed. The lingering odor of decomposition mixes with that of damp soil.
to the south.
A traffic jam. Rain thrumming on the roofs of motor vehicles. Inside, drivers watch water streaming down their windshields. The statue of a king shudders. He too is cold.
Is he?
The canal bridge has been raised.
Other side,
The road ascends. A raised motorway loops above the ghetto. Beneath its concrete columns, a sea of rooftops, woodwork, and tar stretches northward. 4-story buildings as far as the rain can fall. The snows melt in Jamrock.
what's a jamrock?
Revachol is the capital of the world. Jamrock is the capital of Revachol. Droplets form on your eyelashes. It's home.
Where the hood hat? Maybe not that song. Hasn't aged too well, but I'm gonna say it anyway.
Have a brother in the cut. Where the hood at?
Okay, that's funny. Why am I not there?
To be in Martinaise, where no one goes, at the runoff point of a long-forgotten canal, in the whitest part of town, in the shadow of the day the revolution failed.
What am I doing here?
Standing in the rain, looking north, where Jamrock Rock City stretches inland.
Shudder. Look forward. Or further.
In the rain-swept distance, above the rooftops of Jamrock, a repurposed silk mill stands perched
Oh yeah.
above the motorway
Give us a
exit.
vision
Precinct 41 hunches in the rain.
of what they're doing in Precinct 41. Then we call them up with knowledge of what they're doing. Oh, freak them out.
Your vision blurs.
Hey, we got some
You wipe
XP.
your face with your hand. The rain stings your eyes, making you look up and blink.
We're so close. We're so close, Kim.
Coalition aerostatics hang like apparitions under the cloud cover. Way up there, where rain forms, rotors flutter silently. Your sight clears.
What's below? The mole people.
Collapsed storm drains, old sewage systems flooded with rainwater. Hidden weapon caches from the revolution. Doors leading down to Le Royaume. The catacombs to which, for 3 centuries, they delivered the blue-blooded dead.
Motherfucker.
This rain will
Let's
not let
go!
up anytime soon. At least we are dressed for it. Let's keep moving.
I got 10 XP, Kim. How you like them apples? Now it's time to open the ice cream machine. Don't even think about it. Just fucking do it. Alright? Remember rule number 1, Kim. Roll high, roll often.
This orange machine
Oh,
is
yeah, we
dead.
should equip our... Oh my god, it's still such a bad chance. We have minus physical instrument. Yeah, okay, our scarf is crunk on our style. Crunk on our style? What does that even mean? I don't think we have any other source, but... You know, I have to look, man. You already know the vibe. Minus. Bad scarf. Okay, well this is like a +3. So we will just easily can't use alcohol anymore. We've given up on that.
This orange machine is dead still. It has a hand-cranked ice cream churner and an electric freezer.
Alright, Kim, help
The
me
ice
out.
around it
Lend me your
slowly
strength.
melting. Ice squeaks beneath your Kavalzun multi-tool, but your fingers slip away and it's already unplugged. There's not much else to do.
So now we literally can't do this anymore. Because we can never increase our physical instrument anymore. So that really sucks. I wanted to do the dance stuff. But we're essentially screwed. The only other way would be we'd have to like randomly get a thought that resets checks or increases our learning cap, and then we'd have to put another point into physique. So we're a little screwed on those side quests, which is pretty lame, but what can you do? I don't really want to save scum, so there's not really anything you can do about it. Are we going through this way, I guess? You got your flashlight? Hey, what about my sword? Alright, fine. Keep the gun, keep the flashlight. Even though we've already really used the flashlight, but... Alright, Kimmy boy. Feels strange.
Suddenly, your entire body is paralyzed. Aggressive white noise fills your skull. A strange pain like you've never felt before. Through the static, you hear a woman's voice. It's like 1,000 radio stations are being blasted into your head all at once.
And they try to tell me
But
radios
her
aren't
words are
magic.
the only ones you can make out.
I know you're feeling pretty uncomfortable right now. Don't move too much or fight it. That'll just make it worse. Can't say it's a pleasure, officer. I was really hoping not to make your acquaintance. But here we are.
Kim, I don't have any headphones.
The voice coming through the whirlwind of pain is not malicious. She doesn't want to hurt you, but she has to. Doesn't wish to hurt you, not according to your ear canals. Wait, no, not even your ear canals. This is going directly into your neural pathways.
Just turn your brain off. Okay, I'm sorry.
That's an awful decision. Why would you not want to shield yourself from it? It's an entirely new type of experience. Way worse than all the previous ones. Don't focus on the pain. Focus on doing your job. Tell her she's under arrest.
Okay, you're under arrest.
Really now? Check this out.
You're overwhelmed with a new surge of violent static. It feels like a blood vessel exploded in your brain.
Kim, my brain's on fire.
I'm using a pale latitude compressor. You and your partner have been caught in its field.
The explosion of static you're hearing. It's the ULAN frequency.
Yeah, it's the ULAN frequency.
Saw my equations? You've been sniffing through my lorry, right? I expected as much. I am a bit surprised you knew what you were looking at.
You should probably check on Kim. It doesn't sound like he's doing all too well.
How's it going, Kim?
Right behind you, officer.
He's still alive and breathing.
A pale latitude compressor is used to sort of make the pale more manageable. With a lot of these, you can force a radio signal grid on the pale, literally crunch the distance across it. Signals are relayed across a series of repeater stations fixed to buoys. Not a fun job manning those stations. All alone out there in the pale, people lose their minds in just a few years.
Sounds like she knew someone who used to man one of those stations. But she won't tell you about her. Boy, you're one empathetic police officer to have guessed even that right now.
So, what we are experiencing is a concentration of radio waves.
Precisely. This is an industrial strength paraboloid. It's meant for forcing dimensions on something that doesn't have them. Needless to say, the frequencies used are out of this world. At the upper limit is the large prime number generator station. It's used specifically for pale latitude compression. That's why you may be hearing some numbers. But you might also hear, or think you're hearing, local radio chatter.
She's been holed up in here for a while with no one to talk to. Keep her talking, and you just might get an opportunity to break loose.
Okie dokie. What's the fucking pale? You guys are just like dropping some shit. Like, you're saying a bunch of words that don't really mean anything.
The pale? It's the end of the world.
Okay, so it doesn't really mean anything. How'd you get your hands on this?
I built it myself.
That's illegal. I'm guessing it's patented. But we are beyond that, aren't we?
Can't we just walk away?
Oh yeah. Way beyond.
Because, I mean, they're moving around, so they can move. It's not like their bodies are paralyzed. Can't you just kind of walk away? Oh, this is not a trope I'm a big fan of. A bad guy has thing that paralyzes the protagonists, and then they can't do anything because science/magic mumbo jumbo. Have you experienced the compressor yourself?
Yeah, I stuck my head in there before using it on you. It seemed like the ethical thing to do. Can't say that I enjoyed it. The field was weaker, but I can imagine what you're going through.
Okay, this is great, but let's talk about the man who was killed.
Yeah, let's not talk about that shit. You were hunting me and fell into my trap instead. That's all there is to say about it.
So she thinks of you as hunters, not the cops, and of herself merely as prey.
Am I gonna be like this forever?
No. Once I shut down the compressor, the pain will end. It may take a few minutes for you to steady yourself, though. It's a bit like waking out of a very confusing dream.
Alright, could you turn it down so I can ask you something?
If you've got something really important to say, you can do it through the white noise.
on mattress.
Stay free! FM!
Alrighty.
Turn this.
Lieutenant clutches his head, grimacing.
God damn it.
Regards you with sudden sympathy.
Fine. If you really want to talk, I can dial it down. I've also got a gun, by the way.
He steps reluctantly out of the shadows. The pain lessens.
The gun she's carrying is a two-barreled front loader, not like the murder weapon.
Okay.
Well, it doesn't feel much better, but you can form sentences now. Thinking doesn't seem to hurt as much. Just keep her talking, and you'll get through this.
Okay. How did you know we were coming?
I heard you in the passages, and I've been preparing for quite a while.
Hiding bullets under floorboards?
So you found my shack, huh? I'm not surprised.
Her tone is bitter. She thinks she's been betrayed.
She didn't rat you out, the washerwoman.
So nice. That's one knife I didn't want to find in my back.
As opposed to the other knives she's finding there now. Hardy for one.
So you're desperate.
I was. Before I caught you in the pale latitude compressor. I'm fine now.
That's her admitting the bullet was an emergency exit. It was dark in the shack. The waves outside had calmed down. She looked at the loaded gun. Then she cracked the barrel open and took the bullet out. Not today.
Okay. Did you shoot Lely?
No, I didn't do it. I only helped stage the lynching, though I doubt that makes much of a difference to you. Who ratted me out, by the way? Was it Titus? No, he wouldn't have broken first.
When I threatened to arrest her, Classe broke.
Oh, well, I guess I always knew she was a survivor above all else. But she couldn't have known I was on the coast. How did you find me?
The first guess wasn't entirely off.
Titus and his boys, man. They told us you were on the coast.
You don't sound like you're in much pain, Kim.
Even now, Kim is a paragon of professionalism. He is trying to make a clean cut of telling her she was betrayed.
Well, fuck. Those guys liked me, I know it. If this is what happens to people whom people like...
A dull despair is creeping into her voice.
How the fuck do the rest of you get by?
I don't know. I do it by asking questions, and I have some for you.
Like what? I already told you I didn't do it.
Well, you know, everyone says that.
A strong moral compass. She still wants the opportunity to make a case for herself.
You have an alibi for when Lily was shot.
Man, I was with the boys the whole night. I hope they at least bothered to impress that upon me.
They said there were 10 minutes they couldn't account for.
You mean the length of a toilet break? That wouldn't even have been enough time.
Our investigation has shown that 15 minutes was just enough time to commit the murder.
Wow. Now I'm curious. Please, explain.
Play pinball much?
No. Not since I was 14 and hanging out in the only diner in Dardun. Haven't been into low-risk, no-reward games since moving to the city. Why?
Okay, there's mysterious pinball machines, and okay, there's a secret way to the whirling to the roof.
Don't know it, but also, the shot couldn't have come from the roof, or we would have all heard it downstairs.
I don't know. Maybe they got really good insulation.
She has a point there. No one mentioned.
I just kind of assumed that. I don't know. That would have been nitpicking if I mentioned that.
That didn't go super well. You've got to lay something better on her.
You like Classe?
I considered her a good friend, yeah.
Is peeping one of your hobbies?
Wow. Pissing, pinball, and now peeping. I'm just not following your insinuations, Detective.
Class A said you may use the peephole on her wall to spy on her.
Damn. That girl's pretty, but not that pretty. In fact, no one's pretty enough to waste time skulking about the whirling, drilling holes in walls.
Okay, I don't necessarily disagree with you. So you haven't been watching Class A through a hole in the wall?
Nope. Look, she has an effect on people. That je ne sais quoi that makes it impossible not to look at her when she walks into the room, and very difficult to look away. But travel enough and you realize, for the same reason that she's everyone's type as an object of desire, she's not irreplaceable.
You want to be more than friends, though.
Oh, so that's where you were going with this.
I don't know. You said she wanted to run away.
That's a very sentimental way of putting it. We both had pasts we didn't want to catch up with us, and we enjoyed listening to music together. Why not go on a road trip?
The lieutenant watches her expectantly, occasionally shaking from the pain.
Okay, fine. I was into her. Clausy was into me too for a time, I know it. We even fooled around once. And yeah, after that I thought maybe we could make a go of it.
Okay, so at least that wasn't a complete lie.
Clausia only said they maybe kissed. Someone is lying here.
Okay, Class A said you only kissed.
If that's what she wants on the record, so be it. I'm not about to go into details for you to jerk off to later.
Lady, I'm seeing your portrait. You're not really that type of material.
Seriously, just move on.
But I want details.
Really?
Yes, I guess.
Is that blood on the ground before you? Are your ears bleeding?
Yeah, really?
I just need all the information so I can make an informed decision.
She rejected me with some wishy-washy bullshit about how she was confused because she felt so close to me and valued my friendship so much, and how guilty she felt for leading me on.
Okay, her describing it as wishy-washy bullshit does seem a little unhinged.
I knew that wasn't the whole story, but thought, fine, I'll take it and move on.
No ill will there. It wasn't a problem for her.
Okay, she said you got very angry.
Yeah, one time when we'd both been drinking, I said some heated things about how dangerous her patterns with men were. I was a little worried she'd blow it out of proportion in her head. All the drugs she was doing can make you feel like you're living in a DeLorean tragedy.
And despite all that, you helped her by stage the lynching?
Yeah, the girl seemed terrified. The merc was beyond caring what happened to his mortal coil. It was a no-brainer.
Okay, other stuff.
Go ahead. It's your body.
And mine too, he thinks. But keep on. This must be done.
You have a gun.
And?
You collect guns?
No, they're not practical. Break too often.
It's a front loader. Do you have another gun?
Sure don't.
A breech loader?
No.
This is such a wipeout.
Where'd you get it?
The gun store.
What gun store?
Trigger Happy Jacks.
That doesn't sound like the name of a real store.
What did you think? That I'm going to squeal on my gun supplier? Sorry, I'm not that kind of gal.
What type of gun is it? Gun people love talking about their guns.
A knocked away 80 front loader. 2-barreled. Not really what you were looking for, I'm guessing.
That isn't it.
Okay.
Yeah. Evidence.
You like to hang out on
Who
rooftops?
doesn't? Oh, you probably mean Clausia's rooftop. Sure, I've hung out there. She's got this great antenna.
What's so great about her antenna?
It's very powerful. I used it to tune into RCM frequencies. That's how I knew to be prepared for your arrival.
Is that the only reason you hung out on the
The
roof?
view's pretty bomb, too. But you might say the antenna was the main attraction there, yeah. Along with Clausia.
Okay, you sure you didn't shoot the merc from the roof?
Yes, I'm sure. And anyway, as I said before, the shot had to have come from afar.
Okay.
Yeah? Where?
Well, they did also tell us that it couldn't have come from afar, right? And that's what Titus said. Which I guess makes him look kind of sus now.
More questions before doing anything.
Okay. Alright. What happened Sunday night? Tell me your version.
She eyes you warily, as though gauging your
Because
sincerity.
it seems pretty clear that she's not the suspect.
She's refusing to adopt the demeanor of a cornered animal, a leader with no one to lead. She still wants to retain some control of the situation.
It's okay. We just want to...
All right, don't kill yourself over it. I was shooting the shit with Hardy and the boys over a few beers, like always. Then Klasya comes in, all pale and shuddering. She sits down with a drink, trying to steady her nerves. So I grab a seat next to her.
Okay, Klasse said you knew something was wrong immediately.
No, I really didn't. She's not that easy to read. I just assumed she'd done too much blow. It wouldn't be a first for her. But no such luck. She was in some deep shit. She asked me to come upstairs. The merc she'd been going with was lying on the bedroom floor, dead. I knew she couldn't get the authorities involved, so yeah.
You made it look like he'd been hanged.
Okay, Klasse found it weird you came up with a plan so quickly.
What? No. Faking a lynching was her idea.
Her idea?
Yeah, in cold blood. It really surprised me how quickly she was able to get a hold of herself once we got up there. It was like she was another person. The party girl was gone.
Okay, so that does maybe confirm that she's the other mercenary.
She asked me to help her drag him into the shower so she could wind the shower head around his neck to fake lividity. Then she dressed him while I went to get the Hardy Boys.
But, you know, even if she does end up being the killer, right? Like, I don't feel that bad about my decision to not arrest her immediately. Because at the end of the day, it was basically we'd be arresting someone and potentially killing them on a hunch, which, doesn't feel too good.
Klasse knew exactly what she was doing. You can't remain calm under pressure otherwise.
It's bad that she'd be so calm.
Yeah. I wasn't sure whether to admire her or be disturbed.
You think she killed Lely?
As I keep telling you cops, we didn't hear anything downstairs. No gunshot, nothing.
But even if this is true, weren't you worried this lynching might lead to...
War? The thought crossed my mind. But the mercenary's death was going to have repercussions either way. Although the way things are going...
She doesn't want to talk about this, but not because she has something to hide. She doesn't want the guilt.
Fuck it. I'm not responsible for these people after what they did to me.
Okay, who killed the merc if it wasn't you?
How should I know? As I keep saying, he already had a bullet in his head when I got to him, and there hasn't been any useful gossip over the radio.
Those rings around her eyes, her tired voice. She's been staying up late, listening in on the conversations crisscrossing Martinez.
Police radio? You've been following the case?
Who hasn't? You know, I can still see him there, in Claus's room, lying on his side. He was still warm, but the bluish light coming through the broken window made him look as though he'd been dead for
I
a
feel like we
good
gotta
long
try
while.
this. I was hoping we get like at least a little bit of bonus from talking, but doesn't seem like that's gonna be the case.
I saw you roll into town. I wasn't about to stick around for questioning by a goddamn La Puta Madre agent.
What? What do you mean, La Puta Madre agent?
Yes, you. Everyone says you're his peon, his human can opener.
That doesn't sound like us.
Through the sudden sharp pain in your head, you hear the lieutenant.
I mean, I'm just gonna like fucking
mumble
die
something
because
to himself.
for some reason they decided this was gonna be a super health check.
Fucking hell. And why me? You hear through the white noise.
Plus, that should have been a morale check anyway.
It's especially bad suddenly. Felt like a vein exploded.
Who's everyone? How do you know this?
Everyone in Jamrock. The cops, the criminals. Why do you think I'm holed up in here with a goddamn death ray waiting for you?
And plus, you're the guy who works for them. Or you're the one who works for him.
If she knows that about you, she must know your real name too.
Okay. And we know our real name. But I guess we could... Like, if she says someone else's name, that would mean that she's not looking for us. I don't know. Because it's like, we don't need to figure out what our name is. So if that's what this dialogue options for, then that's not really needed. But I mean, I guess if we could figure out if there's a misunderstanding or if we actually were this guy's, like, cop. Okay, what's my name?
Harry Dubois.
Okay.
One corrupt motherfucker with the disco pants and a funny tie. Agent to la puta madre.
So she knows your name. That doesn't mean you're on the take. Criminals make up bogeyman stories about cops all the time.
Alright, so we've heard of him. He's dangerous.
Is that a joke or a threat? I'm guessing both.
No, it was a real question.
Yeah, sure.
She doesn't believe you.
I'm sure La Puta Madre himself will explain it all to you soon enough.
What'd you do to this Madre anyway?
You know what I did. I fucked him over. And now I have Harry Can Opener in my lair. Fucking Titus.
She's
I mean, it's gonna be
going to
really
shoot
fucking
you.
anticlimactic if we just die
She still perceives
midway
you
through this
as-
conversation at the reload.
Wait, one thing, possibly small, but she said you rolled into town. Was that you singular or plural? She might know something.
Okay, we'll try it. And I came to the town. Was anyone with me?
Yeah, you had your death squad with you. What happened to them anyway?
Who's in this squad?
Well, it wasn't this scrawny dude. You had two guys and a lady. The guys looked
I mean, those are the
rough.
mercenaries.
Lady wasn't bad either.
Maybe? I mean, the mercenaries were here before us. What else can you tell me?
One of the guys seemed chipper, a blonde. The other had a brooding something or other about him. And the woman was the only one in uniform. All were carrying.
Chipper, a blonde, brooding something or another. The woman was in uniform.
That sound about right?
No idea who these people are, literally. Satellite Officer Vic Mayer looks out of the window grimly, then puts his coffee down and turns to Patrol Officer Minot. We can either take a room here in the Whirling or go home for today. Let's go home, Jean. Nothing's going to happen today, she responds quietly. Jean takes his blonde wig off. Call Heidelstein. He can give us a ride.
We think we know them?
Friction, lock, set.
Don't leave me here. Please leave.
Fantastic. I've got to get on the road. Then you can go find your friends. Unless you have anything pressing to ask me.
You know anything about that bunker next door?
What bunker?
I don't know. The communist hideout back there?
Don't know anything about it. No one's been around since I set up camp. But I'm sure I'm not the first vagabond to...
Yeah, we just
feel
die.
Something in your chest, an unnatural pressure.
I mean, I feel like this section's
Spreading
really
to
poorly
your left
done.
arm, your jaw.
Guessing this is bad.
Very, very bad. This is the end bad. Get it together, boy. You've got to hold on, no matter how bad.
And remain
All you
conscious.
feel is pain and weakness. You have to surrender now. We all do. It gets so dark. You don't even see her face. Like you always thought you would. You only see pain and fear. Cop suffers final heart attack. A detective lieutenant of the RCM passed away yesterday. His death, though abrupt, did not come as a surprise to
This
those
is so
who knew him.
stupid.
He was the heaviest drinker I'd ever met. Captain Ptolemy Price, the deceased superior officer, commented, "That ain't easy on the ticker." He loved his liquor, sure, said Detective Chester McLean, friend and colleague. But I think before he ever had a heart attack, his heart was broken. According to an official statement given by the RCM, the officer was on the brink of solving a murder case.
Like, that's so poorly designed. It's just like there's a random super health check out of nowhere. There's never been anything like this in the entire game. And now suddenly it's like, oh, you don't have like 7 healing items on you? Too bad. And we did take the 1 point of extra damage potentially from not choosing to cover our ears, but that's still just so stupid. At the very least, it should split them. It should be occasional morale damage and occasional health damage. It shouldn't just be, hey, there's 8 ticks of health damage that come in during this section. Just... And I kind of hate it now, because it's like, well, shit, now I kind of know there's a physical insurance, or pain, whatever, threshold. So, I mean, I guess, in theory, I should equip pain stuff. God, I can't even fast travel back to go buy healing items. I mean, that's like, that's really kind of killed my vibe. Like, I'm kind of mad. Like, it just feels so obviously like this was not a good idea.
A colorful display.
Again, I'm obliged to inform you that both alcohol...
Where's the fucking health stuff?
A small cabinet on the wall is filled with various...
Okay, here. I hope... Okay, here. Okay.
Because it's not even like it really adds anything to the game. It's like, okay, I just have to waste my time to go back and buy some healing items that are super cheap. I mean, I guess you could blame me and be like, well, you should have just had +9 of healing items at all times anyway. Which is like, yeah, I guess, but there's never been anything like that in the game thus far that's like been like a super hard healing or morale check. And so then just kind of suddenly having something like 30 hours in that's like, hey, if you don't have 7 healing items right now, you're going to lose. And then have to redo the entire conversation again. That's the main thing that's kind of annoying me, is that we have to do all that dialogue over. Because of this, like, kind of poorly designed segment. Like, it would be better if it was at least, like, split damage. If it was like, okay, you take, like, occasional morale and you take occasional health, so that you're not penalized for not having many points in health. Because elsewhere in the game it's been completely useless. Is just, I don't know. Because it's basically like the previous 30 hours have taught you that, hey, your health and your morale, it's not really that important. It's just kind of like there, you know, you're going to get plenty of healing items. It's not really anything to stress about. That's what the game has taught you by not having any big healing checks. And then so then suddenly having one when the character breaks out some technology that has not even been hinted at before. I mean, the idea that there's apparently you can have a machine that just paralyzes you is so random and kind of annoying in its own right, but whatever. I mean, I guess we're going to end the video because we have to redo all that dialogue, so we'll just start next video midway through the conversation with Ruby. And plus, it's just super anticlimactic, because it's like we're getting towards the end of that conversation and now I have to redo all of it. Just part of why I'm annoyed. But... And more, also, there was just like... It was all undodgeable damage. I mean, I guess it's like I could have just skipped on all the conversation and initially tried the skill check. That's kind of it, I guess. But then it's like you're missing the point of the game if you're not talking to people. Like, the whole point of the game is to talk to people, so why would I want to skip the conversation? But, whatever. I'm Extra Cheesy 87. Stay tuned for the next part. And bye, guys.